Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today with Evelio Matos, Adam Peak, and Cory Connors.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are coming to you live from all over the planet. We got me, Evelio Matos. We got Cory Connors at Corrugated and Adam Peak, the packaging pastor on the TikToks and all over the place. How's everybody doing?
Good. You guys are in Paris.
Oui.
I got in my first production, my solid BS with the die line. And
nice.
Feeling pretty good about my SBS hoodie.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
You know what was kind of a bummer? Actually, it was a big bummer. So the reason I couldn't go to Paris was because I'm coaching basketball. And this weekend we played 2 games in the middle of nowhere in Utah. Manila, Utah, not the Philippines, and Randolph, Utah. And in the game in Randolph, my son hurt his ankle pretty bad, and so he's out this whole week. I was like,
oh no,
I could have been there. I tried last minute, just tried maybe I
see. You should have heard it. You should have hurt his ankle last week.
I know. No, it's ridiculous.
Did you tell him that's solid BS?
I said that's some solid BS right there.
I hope he feels better.
We got some stuff. We got some stuff going on. Before we get into it, just if you're watching this, and I hate this little number up here because it always says 1 or 0, and there's 40 people watching. But let us know where you're watching from. We got Hugh Maple Syrup Master over here, and let us know where you're watching from or you're listening from. That's always great. But we got some news to share. All sorts of stuff happening everywhere, which is pretty crazy. But before we get into any packaging, what do we got going on, Adam? What's new on your front besides foot injuries?
All of the things. All of the stuff is happening. It seems like. I mean, you guys are in Paris, which is awesome. Next week? No, I'll be in New York next week, attending it's not a conference, but there's a meeting out there about plastics and packaging that I'm going to be attending with some folks from some pretty large CPG companies. And the following week, we're in Westpac in Orange County, and there's a lot of cool stuff happening. I'll be speaking at D-Scoop in St. Louis and TLMI in Orlando. It's what happened to our lives, but it's good. It's
crazy. It's
AICC.
Awesome.
We got AICC coming up. It's whoa, what? There's so much cool stuff, and people don't realize. I was telling some people about the SpecRite Summit, and they were packaging specification management summit, woohoo! And I'm no, you know how much I learned about the importance of accurate data for a company now with EPR regulations and the complexity of the EPR regulations. And hearing Kevin Davis from Dermalogica shared a story about how to get this certain data used to take 3 engineers a full week of time to get their reporting data. And now it's a 30-minute report to generate. I was geez, that's crazy. So I learned a ton. It was great.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's funny because as a designer and working with manufacturers, I always thought it was just the dieline.com. That was the event, right? Going to the die line with how design, that was the packaging event. But man, there's so much, working with the Pen Awards team, working with Easy Fair, there is so much to get into, and it's not just superficial graphics. It's production and specifications and materials. It gets so deep, which is awesome.
Guys, I'm going to a Rad Tech conference in San Diego, March 7th. It's about UV and E-beam curing. It's like, oh my gosh, like this is not solid BS.
Well, I do want to just say hi to a couple of people here. We got Hugh, always part of the show, man. I appreciate you. We got Brandon Gomez, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Brandon.
Brian Davis, he does out of this world packaging, like literally out of this world packaging. I'm gonna have his episode dropping on Packaging Unboxed soon.
Let's go.
He is packaging for rockets and moon landers and all sorts of crazy stuff, man. Super stoked. Sarah, thanks for being here. We got Becky from Mohawk. Becky, you're amazing. I do need to talk to you. And Fred, we've got Fred who's launching like the one and only largest packaging museum on the planet. Can't wait for us to build an office there.
I've got a submission. I've got the Spot-O-Matic speed and accuracy enlarging meter. I'll send this to you, Fred. You can put this into your museum.
That looks awesome. And then we got
is he looking for old
Sam from Rotterdam? I don't know that Fred is. Fred, let us know. Do you want more packaging, or are you kind of like filled at this point with packaging?
We can add.
He's got containers.
We can add this to the museum. Some Weenus Lube packaging.
So we got a lot of people hopping on here, man. Seth, Mario, guys, thanks so much for being here. I did, talk about specifications. I did want to talk about this. Fred says he'll take it.
Let's go, Fred.
Send it to Fred. All right, so I wanted to talk about this because you're talking about specifications. So 3 weeks ago, California and New York put legislation that does not allow any PFAS in your product, packaging, anything. Well, Kerrygold, that delicious butter that is just like buttery butter, couldn't get to market. It couldn't. That little piggy could not get to the market because.
Wow.
You like that? That was really good.
I did. I liked that a lot.
Because and this article kind of goes into how the product couldn't get to market, but it didn't really go into specifically what chemicals are in there. It just kept talking about a chemical that wasn't allowed. But that's really what it comes down to, was that there are PFAS in that paper, right? It keeps that oil, the grease from escaping, and any moisture getting in from condensation that's happening. So because of that,
happening more and more. I think.
Yeah, and it's quick, right? I mean, it was 3 weeks ago. It passed, and all of a sudden, there's no time for the brands to transition out.
This is why you have to go to SpecRite Summit. This is why you have to go to Westpac to learn about these events. This is why you have to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the laws of the EPR in your state, in your area where you're shipping to. It's critical now. It's not optional anymore.
So I did see kind of a follow-up article that said in the irishcentral.com, I think it's actually authored by Cory Connors. No,
I've been busy.
As of 3 days ago, it says, we've made some changes to some of our packaging, and we're pleased to confirm products will return to shelves from next week onwards. And so I'm like, what? Like, how do you change primary? Like, that was an odd announcement to be like, no, we got it. We didn't know about it a few weeks ago, but now we fixed it. I'm like, stability testing, shelf testing, like, but maybe they already knew about it and had been working on it and just hadn't quite clicked over yet. I don't know, but that's pretty wild. Like, I've never seen someone be like,
that's right, Hugh.
It is. Cory O'Connors.
Yes, my forefather.
With the humor.
Love it.
Yes.
But if they had wrap without PFAS, then why not just use that the whole time?
Why didn't they use that 5 years ago? Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, PFAS would be a great name for a wrapper. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
A controversial wrapper.
Maybe. No, because you never go away. You're eternal. You stay forever.
The forever wrapper.
The forever wrapper, PFAS.
Yeah, the butter wrapper.
Hey.
Whoa. All right.
Hot like butter on a breakfast toast. Anyone know the song? If you know the song, put it in the comments.
I did want to talk about Ardon Metal. These guys launched a new can size, which when I scrolled through this, I saw this can and I'm like, that looks like the regular can, the slim White Claw, Stella, slim mini can, but no, this is like a full serving. It's a full 19.2 ounce, which is like your regular can of Coke.
19.2 ounces.
Yeah, but it's tall, slim, which is killer because it's like, I don't know. Personally, I like the thinner one, just the way it fits, and it fits in my cup holder. And I don't know, it's kind of nice. But I don't know. That's just me. But I like this, and checked out Ball. They've got the slim one, but that's like the 32 ounce to 24 to 32 ounce one, which is a little bit more in terms of serving size. So pretty cool that Ardon found a spot to create something new. And
I think they call that the proper pint. That's oftentimes used in ciders. So
I've seen this size?
Yeah, I've seen it before, but not in a slim. It was a wide can.
Okay.
So that's been used in. We have a local cider company, Portland Cider, that uses that because they're from England and they thought it was cool to have a proper pint.
Yeah. So this is the first time it's made in the U.S., which is pretty cool. How about you, Adam? What do you prefer?
So I'm kind of boring with my beverage choices. I drink water, sparkling water, and coffee is for the most part what I like. I didn't even know there was a 19 ounce can. I don't know. That was, I guess I would just wonder, like, do we need, like, we just keep needing more options for cans? Like a 24 ounce can seems like a lot. I'm used to drinking a 12 ounce can of soda when I was a child. But I honestly, I'll drink kombucha every now and again. And that tends to come in glass, but I don't drink a lot of canned beverages. So for that reason, I'm out.
You won't be investing?
I won't be investing.
Thank you, Mark.
He does have a point. No, he's Mr. Wonderful. He's got the haircut. He's ready to go.
Obviously.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, he mentions that that Ardon probably created this with a client in mind. That totally makes sense, right? I mean, that's typically what happens. If you're a manufacturer and you got a client that wants something, you're going to retool and get everything to work in order to get that product out there. So if we got anybody listening in from Ardon, we'd love to hear you kind of chime in and what you guys are doing with this and how this is moving, because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
More options, more specs, more need for accurate spec management. There you go. Specwright.com.
Right, yep. I'm a little disappointed, honestly, in the comments that nobody has been able to identify a very classic rap song. Do you guys know this one?
Dude, I totally. What were the lyrics again?
I said, it's like hot butter on our breakfast toast. Rock it out, baby Bubba to the boogity bang bang, the boogie to the beat. It's so unique. Come on, everybody, let's dance to the beat. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, the macaroni soggy, the peas are mushed, and the chicken tastes like, well, thank you, Sarah. Oh, man, it's gonna just keep going for
Sarah coming in
13 minutes.
Well done, Sarah.
I was there, but that little breakfast part was not. I know,
but that's why people tune in. That's why they tune in for the.
That's right. Sarah just won a new car.
Yeah.
It's a Matchbox car, but you're gonna love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So friends will let us know that it's a American pint 16 ounce and the British pint is 22 ounce. So that's like 19.2. So it's kind of like a in between.
Divided by. Yeah. My public school math checks out.
Yeah, I don't do public math. What else we got going on, boys?
I saw an interesting post, and I don't ever get any traction whenever I repost something on LinkedIn. I don't know why LinkedIn does that, but they throttle the algorithm when you do it. But I posted, I think it was from Smurfit, this great video where they showed this corrugate coating, and they had two different examples of it. And he put water, he put some sort of like oil and then like some
Mhm.
WD-40 and just like wiped it away. And I was like, whoa. And then the other one, it just stained it and stuck to it. And he talked about how it's got barrier, it's repulpable, it's recyclable, you can print on it, you can do, and I was like, that's pretty awesome. But I love the video concept that he did. It was just, it was super simple. It was easy. And lots of, and I posted on like Saturday morning. I wasn't even thinking about it. And I like checked my LinkedIn. I was like, whoa, what happened to this? And his post, or I think it was, it was Mark Robinson, I think.
Yes, sounds right.
But his post also has done incredibly well. And so I'm wondering, like, well, what's like the powerful application? I mean, it's cool to see. It's like a QVC commercial.
Yeah.
Like, what would be the application? I mean, food and beverage.
My first thought was fruit, like
Produce, yeah.
and vegetable boxes in the field that are oftentimes wax curtain coated, which is not recyclable. It's a great fire starter, but it's not recyclable. Once you coat it in a full front and back coat of wax, it makes it bulletproof for the field, but it's not recyclable. So this could, if it's recyclable, this would be great.
And doesn't contain PFAS, then you're set.
Apparently, yeah.
And the coating is actually butter from Ireland. Which is
yeah.
Who knew?
That's incredible.
That's what we've been missing all this time from packaging.
Just a little butter. Yeah, butter that box.
Wax on, wax off, just with some.
If you add jelly, it's delicious. I don't know. We can't condone it, but that's what I've been told.
I'm gonna see if I get the same response with some Weenus lube, because maybe I have like a secondary application. It's like Silly Putty. Wasn't that supposed to be something else? Then it was like, oh, this is kind of
and then it turned into something amazing. Chicken boxes, produce boxes.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably there's like a chicken show.
What is a chicken box?
It's a box with chicken in it, would be my guess. I mean, I don't know.
Are they live chickens, or are they like
the freezer, the chicken breasts for the freezer, I think is what he's talking about. I don't know.
What do you think? All right, we got freezer over here. What do you think down there, Adam?
It's definitely not live chickens. I can't imagine we'd be like, let's throw live chickens into a box, and our primary concern is the wax replacement on our live chicken boxes, because we don't want them taking craps in there and then having it stain the box.
Dude, 100%. Do you know how expensive eggs are today?
That is true.
Yeah, people are buying chickens left and right on e-commerce.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with frozen chickens. Did you know one time I researched? I used to live on a 10-acre like old farm in Colorado Springs, and it had 2 houses, and my buddy and I bought it together, and our 2 families lived on. It was a compound. We started a cult. Don't worry about it. It's a previous life, but we had chickens, and you could make a thing called a whiz bang chicken plucker out of an old dryer as a way to pluck chickens. We're like researching it. I'm like, what is my life right now? I'm like Google searching the whiz bang chicken plucker.
Look at this. Live chickens come in the mail. See? Bam. What? Nailed it.
He's right.
Baby chickens. Yeah, not full grown chickens. Like, sure. Okay. So
when does a chicken become a chicken? Is it like when it's little, or it's, when it's born a chicken? We just call it chick because we're lazy.
That's a debate.
That was a haiku, Evelio.
That's a mic drop right there.
I was gonna go full political discussion, but we'll keep that out. Let's not do that.
All right, what do we got? We got Gary mentioning that wax isn't used very much these days.
Michelman has been a great coating for many years. Very good.
Yeah. And Seth has confirmed in the comment, by the way.
Yeah, he said no frozen chicken breasts.
Thanks, Gary.
No frozen chicken breasts.
There's a punctuation there. You gotta pay attention, right? Like
it was a typo.
Kids, let's eat, kids. Like the punctuation saves lives.
Yeah. So just other stuff happening in packaging. I thought this one was really interesting. It's talking about Europe. Europe closing the European Union closing the loop on packaging from 2025. Well, we're in 2023. they're changing, packaging has to be recyclable by 2030. So not only does this not even start for another 2 years, what they're actually asking to happen won't happen for another 7 years. Like, can we just get people to get stuff done faster and sooner? Obviously, Kerrygold can maneuver
Like
quick
a
enough
week,
to.
they're like forever chemicals gone.
Yeah.
1 week. That's how we do it in Ireland. That's how
we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is like nuts. Like, it took forever to pass this, and then now it's like, all right, well, we finally did it, but don't worry, you don't have to start till 2 more years, and then don't worry about that. You got another 5 years to figure it out until we change the law here. So I don't know. It's frustrating how slow things move. Obviously, it happens in everything, but when it comes to packaging, it's just a little annoying because we know how quickly we can actually pivot.
Those
Do
deposit
you think that's
systems are
because
so
there's
effective.
so many? Yeah, it just seems like there's so many forms of packaging that are and if we're defining recyclable as it can be turned into something of value that can be sold, right? Like, depends on how we define recyclable, but we got to talk with Paul Novak. I would go German with it.
Yeah.
But he's the executive director of Green Blue and how to recycle and all that stuff, and the SPC, and that was kind of part of their definition, was like, can this be recycled and turned into something of value? Technically, everything can be recycled, right? Your friend, since he has not appeared on my podcast yet, Tom Zaki, but go listen to his episode.
Yeah, we're gonna see him. We're gonna see him this week.
Of course you are. Yeah, you guys are best friends, and I can't. Yeah,
he'll be on stage right before me. I can't.
I'm not important enough for Tom, but Tom, if you're listening, but he says, like, technically baby diapers, like used baby diapers, are recyclable. It's just there's no value for them after they're recycled.
We know.
So
they're full of
solid BS.
That's right.
Baby. That stands for baby. So if that's how they're defining it, then it would make sense, because it's not just like, oh, design this to be recyclable. Well, you could say, well, technically anything's recyclable.
Yeah.
It's just like, can the infrastructure keep up? And that's probably the reason why, if I had to guess, like why they have to put this in place, because there's a lot of things that are recyclable. It's just they're not.
Yeah. There's a lot that happens after the fact, but I think we can make things move a little bit quicker, for sure.
Yep.
Real quick, I'd like to thank the team over at Easy Fairs for giving us the opportunity to speak. Evelio and I are really stoked about it and looking forward to it. And I'll be recording at least 4 podcasts live Wednesday and Thursday this week from the event at Paris Packaging Week. So stay tuned for those.
Cory's shooting for recording 8 podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the hope. Yeah. We'll see. Evelio and I are going to do 7, just the 2 of us. Every 5 minutes, we're going to start a new podcast.
Well, you got one down, right? This is the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just a little overwhelming sometimes. No, man, it's super stoked with Easy Fairs. We're going to head over there tomorrow. We're going to tour the area today. They shut down the fashion expo that they were having over the last couple of days. And I mean, it's crazy how quickly they turn this over. Fashion out, packaging in, and we'll be, they're cleaning it up today, and then tomorrow, like, people start building booths and everything. So super stoked about that.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then Cory, you're hosting a panel.
Yes.
What is your panel about?
Frederick Drew from Unilever and several other incredible stars in the glass packaging world. We'll talk about the sustainability of glass packaging and some of the issues involved with it as well. Really excited about that. Yeah.
Glass is making a comeback. It's glass is the new paper.
This is a number that I was surprised by after I did some research. In Europe, the recycling collection rates are 79% for glass right now, which is incredible. In the US, we're still just under 40%, with plans to get to 50 soon. So long ways to go, but the right direction for sure.
Yeah. Evelio, I think you should not call it a comeback, because glass has been here for years.
Yeah.
Rocking, putting suckers in tears, making the tears. Anyone else know that classic rap song?
Yeah. Mr. LL Cool J.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
You got the haircut for that too, man.
Yeah.
I do. Not the physique though. I don't have quite the strength that
Yeah.
He's a big man.
yeah.
L is a big man.
Ladies love him, I heard. And he's
Apparently.
What was I so collection, so that's collection rate, but what's actual recycling rate?
Yeah, great question. That's to be determined here. I think the numbers are similar, but that's the only exact number that I had.
Yeah, because you always hear about the front end. You just never hear about the back. It's like whichever number sounds better. That's the one that's like pushed out front in any article. It's like, yeah, we got 100% collections. Like, yeah, they collect everything.
Yeah.
But what happens after the fact?
And it cuts the other way too, right? Like I was looking at like PET, like water bottle recycling. Like the recycling rate in the US is decently high. It was like 25 to 30%. But then when someone's trying to prove another point, they're like, recycling's a joke. Only 7% of all plastics produced are recycled in the US. I'm like, that doesn't, I don't know. I mean,
that's not packaging.
We're not talking about packaging, and that's all I'm trying to talk about right now. Like I get that, like
when
maybe
your car is 80% plastic, of course it's not all getting recycled.
Yeah, like if there's plastic in like your foam insulation, I don't know, like it's probably not going to get recycled, but it's going to hang out for
fish nets. You got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Why would they collect and not recycle? Good question. So a lot of times you're collecting. I know. I spoke to Bo Peck, who he's got a recycling plant, and he's got a couple in Utah.
That's right.
They collected like 40 tons of PET trays that were just virgin, like first time around, perfectly clean trays. There's just no market for it, so they had to landfill them. And that's, you collect it in hopes of selling, but if there's no market, if the price drops, you can't store this stuff indefinitely because you're limited on space. So just because you're collecting it doesn't mean that you're recycling it. Which is the crazy part, right? Like you always assume when that truck comes by your house and picks up your recycling, it's getting recycled. But if you're like in New Jersey and places like that, sometimes that truck just, it's your landfill truck goes by and picks up your stuff, goes around the corner and goes back and picks up your recyclables and takes it all to the same place. Because if there's just no market, there's no point to do anything with it. Yeah.
It'd be like those people who buy the like the storage units and they're like, I think I can sell all of this. So you buy it for a certain price and you can't sell everything. Yeah. So you're stuck with a bunch of stuff you got to just clear out at no value.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary. I was very thankful to spend some more time with Michelle from Lorax. She is a brilliant person. I'm honored to know her as a friend and coworker, I guess you could say, or she taught me so much in the short time I spent with her.
Yep. 100% agree. I wish we actually crushed that interview with her and then the audio didn't record. So it was she was great.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of that, but thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, Billy.
Now you know how I feel.
Adam, tell them how awesome Nashville was and Spec Right convention. Yeah.
It was better than Paris, is what I've heard.
So that's what I heard too, man. Nashville's the new Paris.
That's right.
But I'll tell you what, if
is the Paris of Tennessee for sure.
Yeah. There you go. If this makes you feel better, I have not left my hotel room all day. it's like 5:00 in the afternoon. I've not left my hotel room all day. I've just been working. So I could have been anywhere.
Europe, though, like that's kind of when the day starts, isn't it? Like everyone has like siestas and the naps, and they eat cheese and wine all day, and they're like, I guess we should get some work done, and then they go to work for like 2 hours. Maybe the American school system has failed me, but that's just what I picture. Like everyone's just like Italy and Paris. They're just like hanging out on the streets with like fun hats and riding Vespas, and
they all carry bread around. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
I did get to go out to dinner with Cory and his family last night, and that was amazing.
Really
it was fun just to meet the Connors. It was super cool.
Is that a TV show?
Yeah,
it should be.
Dan and Roseanne.
Yeah, it's like a spinoff from Roseanne Connors.
Yeah.
Which is funny
So
because my parents' names are Dan and Leanne. So
Hello.
fun
I
fact.
think you might have a copyright claim there. So just as we start wrapping up, everybody, I did want to leave off with this, which is Natural Light on the left is rebranding, redesigning all their packaging to the Natural Light on the right. Going back to that, nostalgic look of the late 70s, early 80s. But everybody's like making a big, exciting deal about this. But I don't know how you guys feel. Like
It's
the left one seems super generic, and then the right one, definitely seems old. But
I like the one on the right, but it's still going to be like probably cheap. Buy a 30 pack and pound it at your frat beer. I mean, unless I don't know. Like I still in my brain, it's not like I think like Natty Light, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be a nostalgic beer that I should. Although Pabst Blue Ribbon, I think, did a good job of maybe having that like.
Nostalgia. Yeah, they beat everybody to it, right?
Yeah. I would agree.
I mean, Cory's
like
a beer connoisseur.
I like it. It's interesting. It's attention getting, and maybe we'll bring back some of its older drinkers. And Adam's right. That's certainly
dead by now.
Staple in the young crew.
Aren't they dead by now? Are young people still drinking beer though? I feel like that like there's a big like no low alcohol push, and maybe that's the reason why they have to rebrand, is because their consumer age has shifted up.
Yeah.
College students drink
fake news.
less. I'm pretty sure they do. They drink less than when we were in college. It's not like they're not drinking. It's just not as.
I think they're drinking stuff like seltzers, and
smoking weed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
Let's look that up. I'll look that up.
I don't know. For me, I'm looking at both these cans. One is generic, then the new old can just looks like it's going to taste horrible, regardless of what Natty Light tastes like today. I just remember as like a kid when my dad would be like, "Here, have a sip," and it would just be like the worst flavor on earth.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. Matt. Yeah.
Thanks,
Matt's
Matt.
a young buck. He says to shift to seltzer, so I appreciate
you.
Yeah, and it looks like just a quick research. Drinking amongst college students has dropped quite a bit. Binge drinking has dropped quite a bit, and it's pivoted to things like, seltzer and marijuana, really, or cannabis. I apologize. Yeah, they're going to the vintage look because older people are drinking beer. Like Fat Tire rebranded,
Although the Fat Tire rebrand wasn't nostalgic. It was pretty clean. I liked it.
It was a clean one.
Yeah.
It also had a little bit of nostalgia to it, I felt like, but
thanks
Sarah. Appreciate your classic rap wisdom.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I needed that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's just wrap this up. What do we got going on? And will everybody get back to work? It's Monday. God, I thought it was like Friday, but it's Monday.
Next week we should talk about Westpac and what we're going to be, or what our speeches. All three of us have individual speeches, and we've got some group speeches.
Yeah.
Really excited for Westpac in Anaheim, California, February 7th or 8 and 9.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Cory's doing the Disney tour. He's going to Disney Paris, and then he'll be at Disney Anaheim.
Yeah.
So
if you want an invite to the TLMI Converters meeting in March, then that's in St. Petersburg, Florida. So you could maybe
bam.
Or I don't even know how far it is from Tampa to Orlando, but it's closer than Portland to Orlando.
Yes, I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay.
There you go. I got a show. I got podcast dropping tomorrow with Christelle and Mar and the team over at Easy Fairs. Just talk about what you can expect at Paris Packaging Week, which is pretty exciting. And then I've got some other episodes. Can't wait to drop Brian's episode on blue Blue Origin and all the cool, crazy stuff that they do with packaging for outer space.
Excellent.
Yep. I'll have an episode dropping this week. That's all I can promise.
Oh.
I don't know which one. Oh, I'm so bad at the planning of things. But yeah.
Right. Well, get all your packaging ready. If you're interested in entering in the Pen Awards, check it out. They've got they're going to announce the awards contest coming up in the next couple of weeks. They got some cool stuff. Definitely one that I would look at. Thank you, Becky, so much, and we'll talk for sure next week. Other than that, thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you.
Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today.